Pepe coin holders, we got to be talking about where Pepe is going to be going. We haven't talked since the massive drawdown on really the entire crypto market, and I want to show you guys some very important levels that were broken through and that held. So without further ado, welcome back to the Crypto Report. I'm Blacksea. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel right now. Anything I say is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Let's hop into it. All right, guys, I want to start off here on Twitter. This is not Twitter. Here's Twitter. I want to start off here on Twitter. Follow me at 333 Blacksea. I say, this is why you place stop losses on trades, okay? Because I was talking about my potential trade setup, and I want to show you about why you take stop losses, why you have stop losses, because you can be invalidated on your trade ideas, right? So I said I have been talking about how Pepe had a big move coming and how I would look for a high-risk, high-reward trade right at these levels. I was biased bullish, but obviously it was invalidated. Guys, I was talking about opening up a long position, a risky long position, and well, I did it. I got stopped out. But if I wouldn't have had a stop loss, I would have gotten crushed. And I was talking about the scenario of a breakdown. And obviously, I'm not claiming to have predicted a black swan event with the China-Trump tariffs, with these exchanges, these market makers really capitalizing on that news and swiping all this liquidity out and flushing out all the leverage. But the technicals on the price action, the technicals on Pepe, we're showing some very interesting signals, and I thought, well, I know the price is coiling, so I'm going to look for a potential move to the upside. So I say, incredible to see how it respected the blue line on the daily closing. Now we wait and see how price action plays out. So let's talk about this, right? This is Pepe right here, right? So we had a very interesting trade setup. We were coiling. We were seeing the price action get tighter and tighter and tighter. And I was saying, you know, I am looking for a breakout to potentially take profit around 4.012. And obviously, I was saying also, there's obviously a chance that we come up to the cyan line at 4.010 and reject off. And I was saying the key areas of interest to be paying attention to for really like stop losses was the first area right here at around 5.088 and the next area right here at about 5.083. And well, guys, we didn't quite fully go up and test the cyan line, but we came and rejected and broke through all these levels. And we're going to have to zoom out because, oh my gosh, look at this. This is insane. I'm going to get rid of that line. It's absolutely insane by how far we came down here. Just, I have to zoom out so much. 1, 2, and we made a all-time low for this cycle since the inception of Pepe, before we had our first rally to the upside below 5.0460. Okay, now we wicked through it. Wiped out leverage, obviously probably liquidated a ton of people on Pepe. I didn't get liquidated. I got stopped out on my first level here around 5.088. And guys, this is what happens. You know, sometimes when you have a high risk, high reward trade, you can get invalidated by black swan events. And this is exactly what this was. So that's why you always need to be using stop losses if you're going to be leverage trading, guys. And what we did, what's the bullish thing here, right? We respected the blue line here at 5.064, and we're bouncing off of it. And guys, I will say, on a closing candle basis, it's still in a bullish uptrend. Insane. I don't even know how that's possible, but it is. But obviously, when we're talking about wicks, it's not the same story. But I am not going to be paying. I'm not going to give a lot of weight to this wick right now, until Bitcoin spills over, until we have clarification that we are in a bear market. And in my opinion, guys, we are far from a bear market. I think that Q4 should be very bullish for Pepe and for altcoins and for really the entire trading space, for the traditional market, the crypto market, gold, silver. I think it's all going to be very, very bullish for Q4. And until we get past that point, until I see lights, flashing red lights saying, hey, looks like the market's spilling over, I'm going to be bullish here, and I'm going to be biased to the upside still. And now, when it comes to Pepe specifically, for trading's sake, I am not prepared to be opening any trades here, but I will say this does look very V-shaped recovery-ish because, guys, look at this. We wick down, and this wick, from the bottom of this wick to where we're at now, we're talking about 150% gain from the wick to the downside. And you look at market cipher as well, and you have a green dot in volume indicating a bottom signal. And, you know, the momentum waves look like they're getting ready to curl up. And on top of that, the money flow is barely in the red, then green barely in the red, and I think the red is going to flip green here, indicating there's more money coming into this asset than leaving it. So all in all, I'm not entering any trades on Pepe right now, but I am patiently waiting to see how this price action plays out. And I would not be surprised if this does V-shape out and finally test the turquoise line after this brutal shakeout, and maybe close above it and find ourselves back at the initial take profit of the long around 4 zeros and 12. I think that's on the table, but for the time being, I'm sitting on my hands, guys. But if you guys do want to trade, feel free to check out in the pinned comment section or description box below. We have a 10% bonus on deposits and up to 500x leverage to BTCC. Take advantage of that. And also some fantastic other sign-on bonuses to BitNext, Blowfin, Weeks. Guys, take advantage of all of these. It really helps support this channel. And on top of that, there's a lot of lucrative bonuses for you to take advantage of if you're already trading or you want to learn how to trade. They've got demo accounts. They have a lot of resources to really add as many tools to your toolkit to become a better trader and investor. So check it out. All right. Bitcoin's at 114K, down about 1.15%. And really all in all here, guys, the traditional market was bullish today. I think that this week we're probably going to see continuation to the upside as long as we can get past Tuesday. And at the time of recording this video, it is Monday evening, and this will go live on Tuesday if you're not a member. But guys, I do think that Tuesday is a very important day. Today is a very important day because usually that's like turnaround Tuesday, as what people like to call it in the traditional market. And if we start to see a tip over, then maybe we do see another flush to the downside. But that being said, the flush to the downside of the overarching market, specifically for crypto, was so manipulated. It was true market manipulation. Usually people will throw that term out left and right whenever there's a little bit of a sell-off. But guys, this was market manipulation. Like, full stop. Like, this was market makers making a killing. Liquidated $10 billion, more than half of all the liquidations in the $20 billion liquidation event. Hyperliquid liquidated half of it, okay? Where does that money go? Does people trade it? Well, no. People were getting deleveraged. Shorts were getting liquidated. Where does it all go? Obviously, the exchanges, the market makers do make money off of that, guys. And all in all, it was market manipulation. It was a big leverage flush out. And I do think that the leverage is flushed out to the point where I don't expect another flush to the downside. I've been looking at the heat maps, the leverage heat maps, and it doesn't seem like there's a lot of leverage building up. I think a lot of people got wiped out, unfortunately. It's good for price to move to the upside, but it's obviously never good when people are getting liquidated left and right. It's not a good time. But that's why you stop losses, right, guys? That's why you try to be very cautious when you're using leverage. Now, Pepe's sitting at rank 36, down about 24% in the past 7 days, catching a little bit of a bid, up 3% in the past 24 hours. And we were sitting at a $3.25 billion market cap, about $10 billion away from all-time highs. Obviously, we took a big beating on that flush out. We were not back to where we started, but we're not that far off of it. Like, if we were to measure this from where we broke down to where we are, you're talking about really a 13% drawdown, which is significant, but obviously it's no... did we measure this? What the breakdown was? Yeah, it wasn't a 66% drawdown from the levels we were at, right? So it really, in hindsight, is not that significant when it comes to breaking market price structure, like the bullish trend for Pepe. But guys, you look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin is chopping in between 110K and 116 on the daily time frame. The weekly looks a little bit questionable. I'm not a fan of this. It kind of looks like we need to chop a little bit more here. But the monthly looks pretty bullish. It looks like it wants to really, these are just like liquidity, stop loss hunts, liquidity grabs, and I think that as long as we close anywhere around 116,000 on the monthly, you should be expecting Q4 to continue to be bullish, and you should be expecting altcoins, including Pepe, to catch a little bit of a bid, in my opinion, guys. Now, let me know in the comments below, did you survive the Pepe sell-off, the altcoin flush out? And if you did, what are your next moves? What are you thinking about doing? Personally, I'm sitting on my hands when it comes to Pepe. I'm long other alts. I'm long Crowcoin. I'm long ETH right now, but I'm playing very, very cautiously here because it's kind of I would say that if you were I was looking for a little bit of excitement. I'll be completely honest with you guys. But if you were trying to be very, very on top of a systematic type of trading, if I was really dialed in on that, I probably would be waiting to see a little bit more confirmation of the upside. closures above important price levels on Bitcoin, but I'm taking a little bit of a risk. But that's all I got, guys. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel right now. Check out all those awesome affiliate links down below. It helps support this channel, and I'll see you next one. Bye-bye.